Hello everybody, Happy New Year to you all, and if we haven't met before, my name is Sean Pearce. I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Worcestershire County Council. I know how busy your time is, and for some of you, you're unable to make it to one of our consultation meetings. So if that's the case, what we've done this year is we've put a survey into place which enables you at a time of your pleasing to give us some feedback really on the December Cabinet Budget Report that was presented late last year. What I wanted to do was to help you complete that survey for us, was to take you through some very brief but high level messages that were contained in the budget report. And if you cannot make the VCS and the parish meeting on the 21st of January, please complete the form. So for me, there's 5 key headlines, and I'll just run through those briefly. The first is a continued £54 million investment through the Strategic Economic Plan is being made. We now move into a second phase. We have one train station nearly relocated up in Bromsgrove, one moving towards a detailed planning stage in the south of the county near Norton, and plans certainly starting to be developed around a Kidderminster revamp. We also have significant work ongoing on the roads, and investment going into things like the Hubert Link Road and the Southern Link Road down in Worcester, as well as some investment into some of our business parks and economic development opportunities. So many of you would have seen the work going on in Malvern with the Science Park, and most recently Worcester 6, just off of Junction 6 of the M5. Alongside that, the second key headline though I wanted to take you through was the continued requirement for us to find significant savings. That does come in part from reductions from government. Let's say around a third of that comes from reductions in government, but we do have to run to stand still. And what I mean by that is that our inflation and our demand for our services requires us to save roughly £24 million a year. And that's the main reason that we have a savings plan of roughly £25 million a year that needs to be delivered across the medium term. So whilst government have accelerated some of their plans at the time of the draft budget for grant reductions, we have adequately planned for that. So what I am trying to say to you today is that our plans for £25 million a year, at least in the draft budget, remain what we need to deliver. The third key message I wanted to talk to you about was our continued requirement to deliver almost £1 million a day to support vital services and residents in the county. That won't change, and we remain the largest capital investor in the county, over £100 million a year going into infrastructure investment in the county. Many of you would have seen that the most significant part of that is the investment into the energy from waste plant up at Hartlebury at the moment. The fourth key headline really is that we did receive some news post the draft budget around what's called the local government finance settlement. That's really where government provides some more information to us around how the key messages that come out of the comprehensive spending review translate into what it means for our grant funding. At this stage it's too early to say quite clearly what that means for our budget, although many of you may have seen information out there that we've released into the public domain that we believe it's going to create some more challenges. Our initial reaction is that we're disappointed by that settlement, and in fact it sends a clear message to us that government would like to see a different way in which government funding is shared across the country, and actually at the moment that's bad news for county councils and bad news for Worcestershire. So what we are trying to do at the moment is assess that impact, and I anticipate being able to say more to you towards the latter part of January. The last key headline I wanted to just make you aware of is our continued, I think, focus and investment not only on roads and infrastructure, which is important particularly for I know members of the parish community, but our importance of working with the local community around volunteering and working with the voluntary sector. Hopefully you'll see in the draft budget a continued focus on that area, and I really welcome some ideas, both some challenge and some comment about what we're doing at the moment, but ways in which we can continue to work with you as valued partners to deliver what are a set of services to some of our most vulnerable in the county in the best ways possible. So for me, those are the 5 key headlines. A reiteration really that we have a plan in place for the delivery of £25 million of savings in 16-17. The draft budget does show that that is currently just £2 million shy, so we're currently trying to work on that, and we'll welcome advice or suggestions on how you believe we might bridge that remaining gap. But to a large extent, £18 million of those investments were agreed, were consulted upon, and were put through the February 2015 Cabinet, with only 4.5 coming through in the November Cabinet. So the outcome really of my presentation to you now, but also the consultation engagement we have with you, is really, if you can complete the survey, that would be fantastic. To help you complete that, on the same web page you can now see this podcast. We have some links to some key documents, those being a slide presentation that was made to councillors before the December Cabinet, that also the December Cabinet report, the February Cabinet report from last year, which had, as I say, the bulk of the savings proposals contained in there, and then the November Cabinet report that brings forward the final £4.5 million that we're proposing and consulting on at the moment. So that's all I intended to take you through in this brief podcast. I intend to take you through, you and your colleagues, through much more detail on the 21st of January at 6:30 at County Hall. So please, if you manage to log on, have a look at this podcast in advance of that, it will be great to see you there. And obviously there will, as normal, be myself and my members of my team, but importantly as well, members of the Cabinet as well, so you'll be able to directly have conversations with them about either what's contained in the budget or any key things that are important to you as we go into what might be a year of challenge next year, but also a year of opportunity as we start to deliver on key areas of investment. So thanks very much and Happy New Year.